video on building a online Asteroids clone in JavaScript, Python, and AWS. So in the last episode we left off, we built our player class and we have it drawing to the screen. So next up, we're going to start adding some controls so we can actually move this guy around the screen. And yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class that's going to manage the input into our application. So any of the arrow keys being pressed, we want to actually have a class that's going to manage all of that and then provide what buttons are pressed to our player class. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our manager. So remember before we created a manager to manage the side of the screen. So as we resize, this will automatically return the width and the height to any of our child props or child elements for React. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new manager. We're going to call this our input manager because it's going to be managing our input. Makes sense. And what we're going to do is we're going to call class input manager, and this is going to be a React component. And I forgot we need to import that, so import React. Okay. And we're going to have a couple things in here. Actually, let's also import our prop types so we can define what this is going to do or what's going to return to its children. And then we're going to initialize our state. So if we think about what a player or a ship needs to do, it needs to be able to rotate left and rotate right, which means we need some way of listening for a left and right action. It needs to be able to thrust, so we need a button to be pressed when we want to move forward, and then we need a button for when we're going to actually shoot bullets. So we're going to track a couple different properties here. So we're going to track whether we're turning left. We're going to track whether we're turning right. We're going to track whether we're moving forward. And we're going to track whether we are shooting. And by default, none of these states will be true. So this is basically going to be kind of what's happening right now. It's sitting there doing nothing. So no keys are pressed. So then what we're going to do is we're going to create some methods in here. So we're going to be using some of the built-in event listeners on the window object in JavaScript. So we're actually going to be waiting on the key up and the key down events. So what we're going to do is we're going to override a couple methods here. So we want to know when our component mounts, and we want to know when our component will unmount. So when our component mounts, what we want to do is we want to add a new event lister on the key down event. So when the key is actually pressed, and we want that to call our internal method here, key pressed, which we'll create in a moment. And I'm going to copy that. So we also want to wait for the key up. So when the key is released, so we're going to have another method called onKeyReleased. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy both of these, put these into our component will unmount, and we're going to instead of calling add event listener, we're going to call remove event listener. So we're actually going to unbind the key down event from this function. So basically when our React component mounts, or when it shows up on the screen, it's going to bind to those functions. And when we go away from the screen, we no longer need the input manager, then we're going to unbind those. Otherwise, this is going to keep getting called, which we don't want. We want to initialize our resources and then clean them up when we don't need them anymore. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a render method, which we'll get rid of this because that's pretty ugly. We'll just do render, and for right now we'll just return undefined. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start creating these methods which we kind of stubbed out up here. So if we look here, we have a on key pressed, which is going to be a function that accepts an event. So the key down is going to provide a event object to the function, and we want to use that event to do something. So for now, what we'll do is we'll just do a console.log event. So we have that one, and then we have on key released, which is going to do that, is going to be called there. Then what we want to do is we want to have a new function here to handle the key state change, which is going to accept an event and whether or not the button was pressed. Because these, both the key down and the key up, return very similar properties in the event object. So what we want to do is we want to create one method. We simply just pass in the event. We pass in whether it was pressed or released. And we know that based on these functions because we have two different functions being called. So we know that this is true when we press the key, and we know it's false when the key was released. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this with handle key state change. So we're going to pass in the event. So we're going to proxy it along there. And we know the key was pressed, so we're going to go true. And then we're going to go handle key state change. And we're going to pass in false. And there we go. Next thing we're going to do is start implementing our key state change. So let's see. So first thing we need to do is we need to pull the key code that was pressed. So we're going to call equals event dot char code or event dot key code. So we'll get one or the other, whichever is provided from the function. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our current state. So we're going to go const